Alright, so this is an update to my kayak videos. You saw my new kayak briefly in the Mercer trip video. So if you didn't watch the other two, I ordered a Bonafide SS107 and it was damaged during delivery twice. So I returned it, got a refund, went local, and they didn't have Bonafides in stock and they just weren't coming in. So I went with a Native Titan 10.5. It's fantastic. A little later I'm going to go over what I like, what I don't like. I'm not going to go too in depth on the Titan because there's a gazillion videos on it. But let me get it pulled out and we'll take a look. Alright, so here it is. I chose a Titan for a few reasons. Essentially, what it came down to is I wanted room for storage, I wanted comfort and stability, and I loved the fact that it was fairly short, right? Still around 10 feet, and having the option to pedal versus just paddle was really good to me. Now, this thing's a bear, it's heavy still, right? I haul it around with the landing gear. I mean, it's not like you can't lift it up. But you won't be carrying it and putting it in the water, right? So if it's a steep hill, probably not launching there. But that didn't matter. I wanted the fishability of just how big and stable it is, and it's unbelievably stable. Like you would really have to try to flip it. I think I'd probably fall out before I flipped it. So like I said, not gonna go in depth on the features because there's a gazillion videos, but I will tell you what I like. I really like the seat. The seat is super comfortable. The seat is kind of a pain to put on and off. Not that it's hard, but right, it screws. So you gotta line it up and thread it in. So it's not bad. It's just, like the Bonafide was literally clipped, right? It was like a latch. That would be preferable, but not a big deal. Comes with a cool little seat platform. Throw some tools, clip them in, holds tackle trays. That's been great. I actually really like the paddle slots. Right, I just leave them back there for hauling and everything. Pop them out when I get to the water. That's fantastic. It does actually paddle pretty well. Doesn't go fast, but you can still get out and move it. Like, I end up paddling a fair amount when I'm in the the really weedy stuff, and then I drop the pedal drive down when I need to cover water. Anchor Wizard and landing gear is my only additions, really. People, y'all know the Anchor Wizard. Crank it. You just crank it backwards and it releases a clutch. I have it routed like this. So essentially the anchor falls straight off the back of the boat. I fish the river a lot, and so it's nice to just let the current come in behind me, keeps me fairly straight, and I fish holes. Downside, if I want to fish up current, I can't really anchor because it'll just spin me around and I'll be facing downriver trying to fish upriver, right? It doesn't really work. Landing gear, I went with the Boondocks Groovy. I was hesitant just due to the amount of hardware, nuts and bolts versus a solid one-piece knuckle, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right, so it's been fine. Once I got everything tightened down with the lock washers, it stayed tight. I was worried it would come loose and I'd always be messing with it, but it's been good, no complaints. The rudder system, I believe, was upgraded for the 2020, and this is a 2020, so I feel like it turns fairly well while pedaling. I'm dumb and I always find that while I'm paddling, all of a sudden it's just turning on me and I'm like, what is happening? And I realize I have it turned and I never set the rudder to straight. Tracking, how do I say this? It doesn't track poorly, but it doesn't track perfectly straight. When I'm pedaling, I need to kind of sit there and move the rudder just a little bit. Not constantly, but enough. And the other thing I like is it comes with a ton of tracks. Tracks on the side. More tracks. So something I'm kind of neutral on, I won't say I dislike it and I don't like it, is the internal rod storage. It was great and I really liked it until I started adding things, and then I just kind of went, I'm gonna put my rods in the in the black pack rod tubes, and it's much better than having them laying across the boat. I really don't even use those. And my last dislike is this. This is the guide that goes on the pedal unit and the propel drive. That's what it's called. The guide that goes on the propel drive. Mine didn't quite line up. So like it would hit. Mine would hit the kayak where I just pointed out, regardless, right, of how I positioned it. So I don't know if, the mold is off just a little bit. So I just took it off, and I mean, look, like, it's not hard to look down and go, oh, the prop isn't gonna fit through, the prop hole in the kayak. Cool, I just move it. Not a big deal. Not sure if anyone else ran into that. It would have been nice had it all lined up, but whatever. I'm also a big fan of the storage. Like this is a good amount. It's going to be a little hard to tell the dimensions, but it's a good amount of storage. And if you needed to, you could slide rods. Into the kayak. I'm not going to unless I have to drive down a gravel road and can't fit the rods in my truck. Then I might. And so what I do is I just grabbed a Rubbermaid tote. I throw a screwdriver, a set of Allen wrenches, a couple simple tools in case something comes loose on the yak. I can always tighten it back up, throw my batteries and whatever else I need, and just set it in there. All right, so that's the summary of the kayak I went with after a massive multi-month ordeal of having 2 damaged during shipping, which was miserable, like I said, but it's here now. Let me know if you have any questions on the Titan. So far I love it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day.